Hello guys, my name is Jesus and today I'm gonna be your art instructor. We're gonna be working on this beautiful painting. So let's start. This project we're gonna need a white canvas and we're also gonna need some paint, purple, red, yellow, blue, white, and black. We're also gonna need an empty plate for our paint and two brushes, big one and a small one, napkin, and also a cup with water. We're also gonna need our tablet or cell phone or whatever you're gonna be watching this video. This is a high quality video. You can also watch it on your TV. So let's start. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get a little bit of the white and we're gonna put it on our plate. And a little bit of the black, just a little bit, because we're gonna mix it until we make gray. So just a little bit of the black and we'll mix it until we get this gray color. So we're gonna have some of the gray and we also wanna have some of the white because we're gonna be using both of them for the background. So let's paint. So we're gonna get some of the gray with our big brush and we're gonna start from the top and we're gonna make a line. Just a line with the gray. And we're gonna be cleaning our brush on the canvas. You see I'm getting rid of all the paint just by cleaning my brush on the canvas. Once I have no more paint, I'm gonna get a little bit more of the gray and I'm gonna repeat. And take your time. I'm gonna do this a little bit faster, but just take your time, no rush. We're gonna take 10 minutes break once we finish this. So next we're gonna get some of the white. We're not gonna clean the brush, we're just gonna get some of the white, just like that. And we're gonna keep painting, blending. So you see, now I'm gonna make a line with the white underneath of the gray. And next I'm gonna blend them. I'm gonna blend them together. And now I'm gonna get more of the gray. I ran out of gray, so I'm gonna mix some more. I'm gonna get some more of the white. And a little bit of the black. And I'm gonna mix more gray. And I'm gonna continue the process until I finish the whole canvas. So now I'm gonna continue underneath of the white and I'm gonna put some more of the gray. And now I'm gonna get some more white and I'm gonna blend it. So you see I'm cleaning my brush here, getting more of the white. I'm gonna add some more of the white in here and I'm just gonna blend it. So we kinda wanna have one line with gray, one with black, with white, one gray, one white, and one gray. That's what we wanna have. So 3 lines with gray, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna work on this area here. And as I'm blending the colors, you're gonna have some parts that are white, some parts that are gray, and it's just fine. And the last line, I'm gonna add some white here. And I'm just gonna continue blending it. So we have the beautiful background with one line of gray, one line with white, gray, white, gray, and we're gonna finish with white. I'm not gonna clean my brush because I wanna have all those colors blend together. So now on this line here, we have 1/3, 2/3, and on the last third, we're gonna use gray. So we're gonna start kind of like on the top. You see how in the top we start with a line that was gray? So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna just do a line with gray. So I'm getting some of my gray, and I'm just gonna do a line like this. And I'm gonna continue working down with the gray like this. And I'm cleaning my brush. You see, I'm cleaning my brush, getting rid of all my paint. And now at the end, I'm gonna add a little bit of the white without cleaning the brush. I'm just adding some of the white, making sure the whole canvas is covered with paint. And now I'm gonna just blend all the colors together. So I'm just gonna blend it with the brush like this. I want this line to be really, really defined because this is gonna be the horizon. So now, once you cover the whole canvas, we're gonna take 10 minutes break. We're gonna make sure all this is dry, and then we're gonna come back with the next step. I'm gonna clean my big brush in the water. So I'm gonna dip it into the water. I'm gonna push and then go in circles, and I'm gonna clean the excess of water. Make sure it's really, really clean. And now I'm gonna use my napkin to dry it. And we're gonna wait so we can start with our second step. For our next step, we're gonna get a little bit of the black, and we're gonna start working on our trees. All right, so now we're gonna work on our trees, and the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna put 2 dots in the middle. So each dot is gonna be one of our trees. Then next, we're gonna work on the first one, and this one is gonna go up. And remember, trees are not perfect, so make sure you give it some movement. We're gonna do work in another branch, and we want those branches to move, so don't make it perfect, make them move. And the last branch is gonna come this way, kind of like coming down. That's gonna be our first tree, and the next one is gonna have 4 branches. So we're gonna go up, and you see I'm just making a sketch with my brush. I'm not working on the branches yet. I'm just kind of doing a sketch with this small brush. So the next one is gonna come this way. Now we're gonna add a couple more. You see, I'm barely touching the canvas with the brush. And this one is gonna go like this way. So one is gonna have 3, and the other one is gonna have 4 main branches. Then we're gonna add small ones. So now I'm gonna start working on these ones. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add more black to it. And I'm gonna make the branches, they're gonna be thicker as they come to the trunk. And the trunk, we're gonna make it thicker as well. So this is kind of like moving. And I'm gonna work on the next one now. And on the last one. Kind of like the ends, how they're really fine, barely touching. You see, I'm barely touching. When it comes to the end, I'm barely touching the canvas. That way I get those fine lines, but just barely touching it. Now we're gonna work on the next one. You see, barely touching the canvas to get those fine edges. And now we're gonna continue getting more black coming down here. And the trunk is gonna get thicker as we keep coming down. We're gonna work on the trunk so it's get thicker at the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna work on the other branches. And on this one as well. Make sure those branches are, they have some movement. Don't make them straight. Because remember, trees are not perfect. They are all over the place. All right, these are gonna be our 7 main branches. And now we're gonna start working on the small ones. So we're gonna add maybe like 2 or 3 to each one. So we're gonna add, maybe on this one, we're gonna add like 2 small ones on the bottom. Let's add let's add two branches to all of them. So now I'm gonna add 2 more to this one. And I'm gonna add 2 more here. And just continue working on them. 2 on top, like this, and 2 on the bottom. You see, I'm barely touching the canvas when I work on the small ones, because if you push the brush, you're gonna get thicker branches, and we don't want that. So I'm adding 2 on one side and 2 on the other side. And it doesn't matter where you place them. Let's just keep adding 2. I'm gonna add 1 more here that is gonna cross this way, and 1 more here. They can be small ones or they can be long branches. It doesn't matter. Just let's add 2 branches to each of the main ones. So 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm gonna add 1 here. 1, 2, and always keep moving them, kind of like snakes. 2. So there you go. We have our tree with 7 main branches, 3 on this one and 4 on this one, and 2 small ones on each, 2 on the bottom and 2 on the top. So now once we're done with this, we're gonna let it dry for about 5 minutes. And once it's dry, we're gonna come back and continue working on the leaves. Wait, we're gonna clean our brush. You know how to clean it. Dip it inside the cap, push it down, go in circles, and clean the excess of water. And of course, use your napkin to make sure it's clean, and you're ready. Once your painting is dry, and we're gonna start using our big brush, make sure your big brush is dry and clean as well. We're gonna get some of the purple. So we're gonna get some of the purple, and we're going to start working on the leaves. All right, with some of the purple, I'm gonna get it with the big brush, and I'm gonna start working on the leaves. So I'm gonna start working on the bottom, and it's kind of like I'm just putting some of the purple there, and I want to leave some empty spaces, so don't cover the whole thing with purple. We want to be able to see the background. It's kind of like grapes. So you see, like, they kind of look like grapes to me, but they are leaves. And then we're gonna add a little bit more of that purple here. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna get some of the purple, and it's kind of like grapes, you know. These leaves look kind of like grapes coming down. And always remember to leave some of the empty spaces because we want to see the background. We kind of want to cover most of the branches. So you see I'm covering most of the branches with the purple. And we're going to just cover a little bit more here. And what we're gonna do also, can add more. What we're also gonna do, we're gonna add the same color that we have here. We wanna add the same color on the bottom. We want this branch to touch the end, like that. Same thing here, I'm gonna touch the end of the canvas with the branches. And what I meant, but we're gonna see some of the same color. We're gonna add some of the same color here on the bottom, like this, okay? Just a little bit of the purple. We're gonna add it on the bottom as well. And every time we add a color, we're gonna keep adding some of the color on the bottom. It's kind of like reflected because it's gonna be raining. So we're gonna have a little bit of the color. So next we're gonna get blue. I'm gonna pour some of the blue in here. And without cleaning the brush, I'm not cleaning the brush because I want to have some of the purple with the blue. So without cleaning the brush, we're going to paint the next branch. So now our next layer is going to be with blue, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cover some of the branches here, and we want to touch the purple because we want to kind of like mix it up, the blue with the purple. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna add some of the purple branches. And we're gonna blend them a little bit with the purple. You see I'm putting blue at the end of all the branches. So at the end of this branch, I'm adding some blue right there, like this. So now we're gonna add some of the same color, just a little bit of the blue on the bottom. Next to the purple, we're gonna add just a little bit of the blue. Just a little bit, like that. All right, so now we're gonna work on the next color, which is green. How do we make green? We mix a little bit of the yellow with the blue. So I'm gonna clean my brush really quick because I don't want to have purple. I just want to have green and blue. So I'm cleaning my brush. And now I'm gonna mix a little bit of the blue with the yellow until I make green. And I want to have like kind of like bright green, like that. All right, so now let's apply this to our painting. All right, I'm gonna get some of the green, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of the green on top of the blue. Just a little bit. I don't want too much. And then I'm gonna blend the green with the blue right here. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna have a little bit of the green on top of the blue. And we're kind of blending in with this blue right here. So you're gonna get some turquoise, some blue, some green. And guess what? We're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. We're gonna add some of the color that we have on our brush. We're kind of like cleaning the brush a little bit right here, adding just a little bit of the green, maybe a little bit more, so you guys can see it. So you see now I have a little bit of the green. Let's push some of the green over here too. There you go. Now let's work on the next one, which is gonna be yellow. For the yellow, I'm just gonna clean my brush, make sure I have no paint, because I don't want any green. I just want a straight yellow. So making sure your brush is clean before you use the yellow, and dry, of course. So let's work on the yellow. So I'm gonna get some of the yellow, and I'm gonna start putting some at the end of the branches. Just a straight yellow. And you see the trees kind of coming like this, you know, like a half of a moon. So don't go too much on this, don't work too much on this area, because it's kind of like coming this way. You'll see it at the end. I actually gonna post a picture so you can see how it looks like. So now we're gonna work on the yellow. First, we're going to apply the yellow first. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. We're gonna apply the yellow in here. Straight yellow, just yellow branches right there. And always remember to leave some of the empty spaces so you can see the background, because we still want to be able to see the beautiful background you just did. And once we apply the yellow, we're gonna blend some of the yellow with the green. So we're gonna push some of this yellow down here. That way we can get some of the green. So it's gonna be like a light yellow. You see I'm mixing it up, blending in. So when I move the yellow down here, I'm getting some bright green in some areas, and that's what we want. It's kind of like it's the transition before it gets to the yellow. We have some light green. Nice. It's looking really good now with the yellow. It just pops up. So now we're gonna get some of the yellow as well. We're gonna pour some yellow on the bottom. Some of the places I'm gonna add some yellow, just a little bit. Don't overdo it, and try to put it next to the green. I'm gonna add some yellow here. Why not? So just put some of the yellow down here. Nice. So now we're gonna work on the red, and we're gonna do the same thing we did with the yellow. We're gonna add the red in the middle, and then it's gonna come down, and it's gonna touch the yellow. It's gonna turn orange. So let's do that. Before we use the red, let's clean our brush. And if your water gets too dirty, you can always go to the sink, or to the bathroom, just dump it up and get new water. My water is kind of dirty already, but I can survive. But if your water is getting too dirty, you can always dump it up and get new water. All right, my brush is clean, it's dry, and it's ready to use some of the red. So I'm gonna pour some of the red on my plate, and I'm gonna apply it to my tree. All right, I'm gonna start on the top with the red. The red's gonna touch all the way to the top. So I'm gonna add some of the red, some chunks of red, and I'm gonna cover all these branches with red as well. But remember, you always want to be able to see your main branches. Like you see, I can always see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So always don't cover those branches. Let them see through. So let's cover all this with red. Always leaving some empty spaces so you can see the background. But don't leave too many empty spaces, okay? If you feel like your tree needs more branches, just add more. Okay, now I'm getting here to the yellow, and what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna like touch the yellow. You see how this one is turning orange? That's what we want. We want to be able to see some orange. Now if your yellow gets dry, you can always just get some of the yellow and mix it up, and you can make orange as well. That's the other option you have. You see I'm making orange right here. So I can make orange and just apply the orange directly here. But I kind of like it better when it mixes it up, when it blends, because I get all those textures and all those colors of the orange, red tree. Actually, I'm gonna add some of the yellow. One more yellow here so I can see the orange pretty good. I really like that orange. The orange looks like fire. And guess what? We're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. We're gonna add some of the color, some of the red, the orange. We're gonna add a little bit of that. And actually I'm gonna add some of the yellow here. Just a little bit more of the yellow, so we can have all those colors there. And I'm gonna add some of the red as well on the bottom, and a little bit here and here. So just like move the red, the yellow, all the colors, just add all those colors on the bottom, because it just looks nice. It's like the reflection of the tree, because remember it's raining. So right now we're gonna work on more leaves down here, but we're also gonna work on the drops at the end. On this painting, it's not just raining, it's also kind of like windy, so some of the leaves are falling. So what I want you to do, I want you to get some of the red with the small brush. We're gonna get some of the red, and we're just gonna paint some of the leaves that are falling. We're gonna get some red leaves falling from the red. Let's make like 10. And then we're gonna add more leaves down here. So some of the leaves already fell off and they're already on the ground. So we're gonna add some of those leaves on the bottom because they already fell off. You see? We have some of those leaves all over the place here because they already fell off. Now we're gonna clean the brush, and we're gonna do the same thing with the next color. So once my brush is clean and dry, I'm gonna get some of the yellow and I'm gonna paint some of those leaves falling off as well. Just a couple of them, maybe like 4 on each side. And I'm gonna add more yellow leaves that are here. And it's fine if some of them turn orange because you're probably gonna touch the red. So we're gonna have some of those leaves that fall off next to the red. Now I'm gonna clean my brush again, and I'm gonna repeat the process with the next color, which is green. We're gonna mix some of the blue with the yellow to get green, and I'm gonna add some of those green leaves, just a few of them here, and a few more on the other side. Remember, I'm using my small brush to add those leaves right there. And now, without cleaning the brush, I'm just gonna get blue, and I'm gonna drop some blue leaves right there. They're falling off my painting, my tree. And I'm gonna add some blue leaves here, just a few of them next to the green, and maybe some like fell off here on the bottom as well. And the last one that we're gonna do, we're gonna clean our brush again, and now we're gonna add some of the purple leaves. So I'm gonna get some of the purple for my plate, and I'm gonna add some leaves here that are falling off the tree. Some are falling off from here, and I'm gonna add my purple leaves on the ground as well, on this side, and some purple leaves on the other side. Nice. So now let's clean our brush and let's work on the last step. But before we work on the raindrops, we're gonna let it dry for about 5 minutes. And once our painting is completely dry, we're gonna come back and we're gonna work on the raindrops. Painting is almost dry, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna work on the raindrops. I'm gonna teach you how to do it. So we're gonna get a little bit of white. You can get it straight from the cup, or you can just get it from your plate. I'm gonna get it from the cup because it's easier to work with it. So I'm gonna get a little bit of the white with the small brush, and the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna press and then we're gonna go up. So you press a little bit and you go up. I don't know if you can see it. Let's get a different angle so you can see it. So you're gonna press a little bit, kind of like you're gonna do a dot, and then you're gonna push it up, like that. So you put a dot and you go up. Put a dot and you go up. And that's how you're gonna be doing it, doing those drops. There is also another way you can do it. I'm gonna teach you in a little bit. So you do a dot and you push it up. You do a dot and you push it up. So it's kind of like raining. But I'm gonna teach you another way you can also do it. You can get a business card, any business card. I have this one from, I don't know, from where? Some huts in LA. And you're gonna cut it in half. So you see, I cut my business card in half, and I'm gonna pour some of the paint, the white paint, on the plate. And instead of a brush, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dip the half of the business card on my plate, and then I'm gonna apply that into the canvas. So I'm gonna have my raindrops very straight like that. Okay, let's continue working with that. Kind of like my business card slash brush that I have, so I'm just gonna keep using that. And if you run out of paint, just get more paint. I'm getting more paint right now, and just adding those raindrops to my painting. And if you notice, I am not touching the tree because I'm gonna do something else on the tree, but we can come down with the raindrops, and don't pull them all together, okay? Just put them all over the place. Like, don't plan, just whatever you feel like you need one, just put it there. And we kind of want to have the raindrops coming down here because it's raining here, remember? I really like this technique for you guys to use. The business card is easier. You can also use any piece of cardboard. It's about I would say an inch or 3/4 of an inch. So we're gonna have some raindrops coming down here too as well. And now what are we gonna do inside the tree? Inside the tree, well, let's add a couple more in here, in the middle of the. What are we gonna do inside here? With the small brush, we're gonna get some of the white, and we're gonna put some dots inside the tree. It's like water is getting inside the tree, but it's gonna be with some dots. So we're gonna add some dots of white, and what this is gonna do is gonna bring the tree, like it's gonna come to life. You'll see in a little bit. So we're gonna add some of the white inside this tree. It's kind of like it has like white flowers. It's a very special tree and unique tree. Nobody has a tree like this. Nobody has ever seen a tree like this. So I'm just gonna paint half so you see the difference. Adding some dots right there. So you see the difference, like on this side is kind of like more alive because of the white. This one is kind of like plain and it's kind of boring. So we don't want it to be plain and boring. We want it to have a tree that is like coming alive. I'm gonna clean my brush a little bit. And I'm gonna continue with the white. Barely touching the tree so I can get those nice dots or flowers. Let's call it white flowers. This is a tree that has white flowers. Maybe these are the flowers of the peace. It's a very peaceful tree. So we're gonna continue working with these white flowers inside the tree. You see, that makes the difference. It makes it like alive because it was too flat. Nice. So I'm gonna clean my brush again, and now I'm gonna work on this section right here. You see how the drops are falling? I kind of want to make like the water is touching it, so it's like a splash in some of them. Like that. So we're gonna do like 5 on each side. So these raindrops are touching the ground, and we can even do one that is like splashing. You know, this one is like splashing. This one says splashing too. Let's do a couple more here on this section. Let me get closer, you can see how I'm working on those. So you see this one, it's kind of like an oval that I'm putting around with just white. And this one too. Couple more. This one is touching here too. And maybe one more here. Okay, for the last touch, I'm gonna work on these trunks a little bit. So I'm gonna make them a little bit thicker. Just a little bit. And it's up to you. If you like it, how they look like, don't do anything else. Just leave it like that. But I'm just gonna add a couple details to those trees. I'm gonna get a little bit of the white. And you know the white with the black makes gray. So I'm kind of like gonna add some details to these trees right here. Kind of like they are twisting. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the gray on my trees. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of the black. It's like, it's up to you if you wanna add some details to your tree, to your trunks. See, I'm adding a little bit of the black and it's kind of like twisting. My trunk is kind of like twisted. Like that. And you can also add some of the roots, like kind of like it has some roots that are coming this way. That's up to you. It's just some details that you can add to your trees at the end. You can also add some grass with color. You see how we have all these colors here? If you have paint left, you can add some blue grass, purple grass. On all this line, you can add grass if you want to. Some red grass coming down the tree. Yellow grass. Let's do some yellow grass as well. That's optional. Once you're done with your painting, you can add more details. It's up to you if you want to do that. So I'm gonna add some more green grass right here. Purple grass. This is up to you. You don't have to do it, but it's just an extra detail. If you want to add some grass, you can do some grass. You can do some roots on your tree. Just make it different. And of course, the last thing we want to do is we want to add our signature. So you can choose any of these sections to add your signature. And I'm going to be using black with a small brush. I'm going to add some water so I can move the paint so it's more liquid and it's easy to work with it. And I'm just going to add my signature in this corner. You can do your signature, you can do your name, your initials. I'm just doing my initials right there. And you are done. Well, you guys did it. That's it. Give it up for everybody. Once again, my name is Jesus. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to paint with you again.